So, welcome to class. Today's topic is regarding cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. So, investors are very interested in cryptocurrency, but so are criminals. I imagine most of the governments that want to prohibit cryptocurrency is to avoid scamming and tax evasion. But is cryptocurrency, is Bitcoin specifically safe? So Bitcoin is a digital currency. I think it was created in 2009 and it's decentralized. So I think Bitcoin relies on a network called, I think it's called the blockchain, to record its transactions instead of governments having any knowledge of this. The problem with Bitcoin is obviously it fluctuates quite frequently and quite vigorously. Why do people continue to invest in cryptocurrency if it fluctuates so frequently? Why would someone invest in something as insecure as this?
I guess that's exactly the point, that all these cryptocurrencies just fluctuate heavily, and therefore you can make a huge profit by investing a little bit. I mean, it's quite risky, but somehow if you are capable of or reading the market or maybe manipulating somehow the market, it could be a great investment. I mean, I'm thinking about Elon Musk a few months ago, or maybe even a year ago. I don't know, really don't remember exactly the date, but he talked about allowing paying for his cars with bitcoins. Sadly, but Bitcoin just price, I don't know, 300% or something. The point is that he had many bitcoins, so he could sell Bitcoin and then he could retract and say he's not allowing selling the paying for the cars with Bitcoin. So I guess that if you are capable of play around somehow with the market, it is a very interesting market. I mean, it's a very interesting investment, and then you have money too. So yeah, as you said, if I had invested instead of 50 euros, 5,000 or maybe 50,000, now I could be almost rich. I mean, that's the point. It fluctuates so much that it can be a good investment, a good inversion.
Investment.
Investment. Right.
It could have been a good investment at that time, but as you say, it could fluctuate in a positive way or a negative way. It could increase or decrease. The reason why many people like Bitcoin is because of privacy. I don't think you need to give your credit card information nor your personal address to be able to acquire or trade with Bitcoin. If you don't need to give this information, how does Bitcoin work? How do you buy and sell Bitcoin if you don't need to give your personal information?
Well, I believe that the point is that I use a platform in order to buy these cryptocurrencies, but you really don't. Yeah, I really don't know. That's an interesting question. I mean, one of the biggest points or the big points of Bitcoin is exactly as you said, privacy, and how the end users are somehow masked, and it's also possible to figure out who the hell is behind the account. And I really don't know how. I guess that you should have like a nickname and a username, and your wallet should be associated with a password, and that's all, nickname and a password. But but yeah, at a certain point you have to convert your bitcoins to real money, and therefore you need a credit card or a bank account or something.
But I imagine you use a third party application or platform to do that.
Okay.
Bitcoin is decentralized, which means, as I mentioned before, it does not have any of your personal information on the systems. So even if their systems were hacked, there is nothing for the hackers to actually steal, which is quite an important point because we are hearing Facebook, Instagram, many banks and financial industries are being hacked quite frequently, and thousands of private information is being stolen. This is a very big issue right now. Um, Bitcoin is public, which is another reason why they are supported. I'm not quite sure what that means. I think it just means that all information is public. So yet again, there's nothing for anyone to steal or hack into because the information is already available. So I think a combination of these characteristics is what makes Bitcoin so desirable. Regarding countries and economies, do you think that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies will increase and prevail in the future? Will they dominate our wallets? Or do you think that the government's controlled banks will always be the principal form of paying and receiving money?
Yeah, that's a difficult question. I mean, uh, the big point that makes Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies a good asset for investing in investments are exactly what we talked about. The, the the high fluctuates, but that's exactly the bad point if you want to replace your normal or paper currency such as the dollar or the euro for these cryptocurrencies. So in the near future, it is difficult because I believe that nowadays Bitcoin it is not used as a common currency. I mean, it is used to invest and to do uh, things without the government noticing it and that kind of things. But in order to become or to, to substitute the euro or the dollar, it has to be much more stable, and that's difficult. I mean, I don't know. I guess that banks they have so much power nowadays. The governments have so much power nowadays that it is difficult for me to believe that they're going to uh, let us substitute all this financial huge structure that has been created for a super decentralized new digital structure, and therefore eliminated all the power that they have. So it is difficult. I mean, nowadays people are talking about regulations and how to regulate somehow cryptocurrencies, and that's a way to that's a way to make cryptocurrencies less attractive for the people somehow, and just trying to turn them into something more similar to a common currency. So I don't know. The years to come, I expect cryptocurrencies to grow exponentially just right now, but as an asset to the investment wallet instead of money. I mean, it's difficult for me to imagine myself paying in a Starbucks for a coffee with bitcoins because today maybe Bitcoin worth $10,000 and tomorrow maybe it's worth zero completely. So it is difficult unless it becomes much more stable.
Uh-huh. Well, that's brilliant. As I mentioned previously, Bitcoin's blockchain, sorry, can't actually be hacked because all of the data is already public. But I think the security risks involved are such as you entering your personal information into a fake website, your computer getting contaminated with some malware or some viruses, or even someone stealing your hard drive. When you pay for things, when you use your credit card to purchase things online, what security measures do you have in place to avoid these unfortunate situations? How do you keep
Measures.
yourself secure?
Well, to be honest, now this is quite common, and banks are using it, and Gmail is using it, Facebook is using it, and it's called multi-factor authentication, which is more or less like asking you for two different ways of verifying your identity while doing this kind of operations. So in many cases, when you use, or at least when I use a credit card on the internet, I have to put or to place a password or PIN code or something like that. And the bank usually sends me an email or an SMS or something like this with another confirmation code, just for me to verify again the, the operation. So
Mhm.
that is a good way to secure things, and it's becoming more and more popular that way. That multi-factor authentication, which it is quite interesting. Uh, I'm thinking about making payments on the internet without. Yeah, I don't know if with PayPal and this kind of platform, it is easy to be hacked or to, I don't know. But yeah, I believe that credit card systems are quite secure nowadays. I
Mm.
mean, if somebody managed to hack your computer and steal your phone and steal your wallet, then you are at risk, obviously. But from a standard point of view, I mean,
Mhm.
I, I want to think that they are quite secure operations.
Mm.
You know, if you agree with me, but yeah, anyway, you did naive, even being an IT engineer.
Yeah, I'm not an IT expert, but I think that today we are very used to giving our credit card information, um, giving our debit card to the waiter, scanning our telephone and paying for our shopping in the supermarkets without actually thinking about what is this machine doing. Is it cloning our card? Is it copying our information onto a USB device? I think we do need to be careful. What I usually do is keep my money in a certain account and then monthly just transfer my monthly budget into another account. So if my second account is hacked into, then I won't suffer such a great loss. Because having all of your money in one account, for me, I believe is quite dangerous.
Yeah, yeah, I do agree with you. That's a good approach. And in fact, I got my credit card clone in New York many years ago.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah,
Especially in third world countries, you have to be very careful. Always paying cash if you can, and yeah, just
it is, it is
common
weird because
sense.
here in Spain, the waiter isn't theoretically the waiter is he is not allowed to, or so he's not allowed to to take your credit card to a different place in order to swipe through the machine. I mean, he has to do it in front of you. But in the US, I mean, I lose my credit card of sight. Lose, yeah, so many times that like a week after I returned from there, ING, my bank, in that period of time, called me asking, well, yeah, somehow asking if I was still there, and if this petrol station charge is legit or not. And I was like, well, no, just cancel the credit card, and that's all. But I mean, although they managed to clone my credit card, it was not possible for them to make any kind of payment with the card because they didn't have the PIN code, and the bank was asking me for confirmation for every single operation. So I mean, it is always risky, but I would be more afraid of my mobile phone being cloned somehow rather than my cards.
Yeah, I'm not saying that we should be less trusting, but we definitely should be more careful, especially when we are in strange places, different countries. Things work differently. So yeah, thank you very much. Okay, perfect.